We finally made a signing early in the window. If for some reason you're a Spurs fan and you've been living under a rock the past day, you wouldn't have seen that we have gone and signed Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg, as he says is pronounced his name, the CDM from Southampton. For some reason, this one seems to be a very mixed transfer between a lot of fans, which I can't even wrap my head around, and I just don't understand why. We needed a CDM. We literally do not have one whatsoever. We've got what, Skip coming up through the ranks as a potential one, but again, still very young, still undeveloped. Still not someone you'd trust to try and win the league, win the Europa League, win the FA. Like, he's got a lot of building to do. So we needed someone with experience at CDM that can command the team, because we don't have that. Most of the time during the season, our midfielders being caught out massively because we do not have a defensive midfielder. Sissoko's not one. Winks is, I'd say, a centre mid, just all round centre mid. He's not a CDM either. We need someone with amazing defensive abilities in CDM, which we had with Wanyama and Dyer when they were playing at their best a few years ago, but obviously that's no longer the case. So it just baffles me that some fans aren't happy with the signing. All right, we need to do 5 more signings. We know we need a right back, centre back, striker, attacking mid. Like, there's so many positions we do need, but this is one of them, and we got it done early. If you haven't seen as well, Kyle Walker-Peters went the other way. Obviously, Tottenham boy growing up. We sold him because he did well at Southampton, really well since being on loan there, but didn't really quite cut it at Spurs. And you could really say that it's because Pochettino didn't play him enough, because, I mean, the 2 times that I remember him starting, he got man of the match both times. It was kind of a lost cause for him at Spurs, sadly. But anyway, I feel like it was a great deal because we got a 25-year-old CDM with one of the best mentalities I think I have ever seen from a player. If you just go and look at his interview on the Spurs things, you can tell that he is someone that wants to win things. Not only that, he was trained at Bayern Munich, ended up becoming captain at Southampton at 23. I mean, that shows what a leader he is, and that's something we've 100% been missing in the team, let alone the midfield. And oh my God, the possibilities that he can just unlock with the rest of the midfield just by being the defensive midfielder. But anyway, before we get into that, I just want to say quickly, guys, thank you so much for the support recently. We're now on like 53.6k subs, which is insane. But sadly, still so many of you are watching this just aren't subscribed, and I don't quite get why. Like I said before, if you're a Spurs fan especially, you don't want to see a subscribe button being red and white. It's just wrong, really, it is just wrong. So if you could do me a massive favor and press the subscribe button, turning it grey, that would help me out massively. We're trying to go for a big push to the silver plaque of 100k, hopefully by next year or at some point, but that's going to be a huge ask. As well as that, just to explain like where I've been, obviously I know I've been really consistent last week with all the uploads, and then all of a sudden just stopped for about 4 or 5 days, but I went away like camping with my friends at the weekend and kind of just disconnected from everything, and it was great to finally have a break, obviously with everything's going on. So sorry for not uploading, but that's why I've been gone, and that's why I didn't really do an announcement video yesterday. But instead today we're going to be talking about how Højbjerg can actually help us win trophies next year, because he's definitely a piece of the puzzle that can do that, and we'll go into more details about what players we might need to help that as well, but also specifically what he can do to help us win trophies next year with Mourinho. So anyway, that's enough of the plug-in. Let's get into talking about Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg and what he can do for Spurs. And like I was saying before, the guy can hopefully unlock our other centre mids. Like, all I can picture right now, if we could just put it on the screen right here, all I can picture right now is the midfield 3 of Højbjerg and DM, Ndombele centre mid, and Lo Celso cam. Obviously, we all understand that Ndombele is yet to be proven, so to speak. Could you imagine? I mean, let's be honest, we spent 60 mil for a reason on him. Like, we've got to try and see if he can actually become a baller, and I think Højbjerg can actually help him out massively. So the problem we had with Ndombele previously this season is, I think the best games he had by a mile was when he was allowed to be free. No one could tackle him at all, really. We obviously know the main issue that Ndombele had all season was that he didn't really show the desire or the commitment to run after the ball when on the defensive side of things. And I don't know who needs to hear this out of Spurs fans, but he's not a defensive midfielder. And the problem is as well, we did not have a defensive midfielder in the team to sweep up the tackles, to sweep up the ball and get them off of the players, to kind of protect the defense as well, because that's not Ndombele's job. He clearly hasn't been doing that at Lyon or previously at previous teams, so it was a new thing for him, and he clearly didn't do it that well. So I think, in my opinion, having someone behind him like Højbjerg, who's clearly got insane stats for tackling and is ahead of Declan Rice, is ahead of Ndidi, like he's #1 in all of the DMs in the league for so many tackling and like winning possessions and stuff like that. So which kind of blows my mind that we managed to get like a player that can obviously do all of that for only 15 mil. So really what should happen is our defense should become a lot better, that can protect them a bit, because God knows Toby, Sanchez, whoever it may have been this season, they did not have that whatsoever. So they've been caught out left, right and centre, and that's why our defence has been shocking. You'll have Ndombele as centre mid, who's quite literally going to do what Dembele's role was before. He's going to pick the ball up from probably Højbjerg or someone from defence, and he's going to carry it forward and he's going to glide past players and not lose the ball. Because let's be honest, anytime he's played, I don't think I've ever seen him lose the ball. If he's allowed to just do that throughout the game, he can become a class player. And not only that, that will allow Gio to be even more attacking, because that's what he was at Real Betis. He was an attacking midfielder. So the fact that all these players can finally get to play in their natural and best positions. Højbjerg, Ndombele, Gio. We bought these players for a reason. They're going to be starting in the team, or at least I like to think they should be starting in the team. And I think that should allow a class little setup for one being defensive, one carrying the ball, and one providing assists and the attacking plays and this and the other. Because that's the issue, right? Gio and Ndombele have had to be so deep this season. That explains why Gio hasn't got many assists or goals, because he's had to play way deeper than usual. I remember when we played against Southampton away, he was like basically CDM himself. So that's what Højbjerg can do for the midfield to unlock their capabilities, and obviously what he can do to protect the defense. And now this kind of goes on to my other point of what we needed in the team, the winning mentality. That's exactly what he's instilled in Spurs since day one. And you can actually see that with how the players are talking. I'm seeing the way Kane's talking in interviews, like saying like, that's not good enough, we have to win, blah blah blah. Like you can tell that the attitude has changed in the team to a more winning mentality. Mourinho said if we're in the Europa League, we're gonna win it, and he's won a trophy second season at every single club he's been at. But not only that, even just like secure the League Cup in February, secure the FA Cup in May, like just get these trophies done as well and create that winning mentality before we've even got to something like the Europa League final. Like I was saying, to do that, he needs players that have winning mentalities. And I don't know about you, there's a clip of Højbjerg when he has an interview after, I think Southampton were 2-0 up and drew 2-2. And they're doing his interviews and they're asking him like, oh, obviously like it's disappointing to throw the lead, but at the end of the day, like a point's like good enough. And you can instantly, he was like, nah, not good enough. I'm disappointed and whatever. And then even if you look at his Spurs interview, he's going on about saying we need 11 leaders in the team. And he's like, I'm gonna make sure everyone puts in the job, like has to do their job in the game. Like the guy has already got that winning mentality and that leadership mentality that we needed, especially after being captain for 2 years and growing up in a Bayern Munich academy. The guy's got completely the right attitude to succeed at a top club. Now we just need to wait and see if the performances match up with what he's talking about. But I genuinely think that this is a pure Mourinho signing, and definitely someone that can help Spurs win trophies, because we need to be better defensively and we need all-round better defensively midfield, because that will then unlock the attacking players. And that should theoretically be a winning formula for Spurs to be able to go ahead and win trophies. You know what's cool? I'm gonna out some people here, right? My family, right? They're saying that it's not, well, I say my family, it's mixed into my family. There's a few of them, cousin, uncle, they're saying it's not a good signing, which, because it's not a massive name that's going to cost 150 million. I mean, how many times has spending 70 million on a player actually worked out to be great? Look at Pepe at Arsenal, 72 mil. My guy's looking like a Tesco meal deal son. It's ridiculous. Like you can't just, because you spent so much money on a player, just expect them to be incredible. That's not it. Look what happened when we bought Wanyama. I'm not being funny. No one really knew what Wanyama was about. No one really knew he was going to reach the standard that he did at Spurs when he was next to Dembele or Dyer. So I think what we need to do is just enough of the negativity, Spurs fans. Like, let's be happy that we're finally making a signing early, that he can actually have a proper pre-season, and it's in a position that we desperately needed. Let's just see if he can bring it through. It's a good signing. We'll find out whether it's a great one or not. But come on, man, I've had enough of this negativity amongst fans. Like, we're getting deals done in a position that's needed, but let's get on to all the other positions that we need to help secure trophies next season. It's pretty obvious that we need a right back, right? But at this point, I genuinely think we need two. Kyle Walker-Peters is now gone. Even though it was only on loan anyway, which means our actual only right back is Serge Aurier, and every report recently is saying that he's going. The big one is AC Milan. To be honest with you, if we do sign a right back, regardless of whether all the rumours are true now or not, I can't see him staying and wanting to be second best to someone else. So either way, I think Serge Aurier is going, because we have to buy a right back regardless. The best shouts have been Celik. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Celik. We've also got Max Aarons is a big one, especially since Norwich has been relegated. But he's again like a young, not crazily proven. I mean, when he played against us, he looked unreal, and I was like, both times he played against us, I was really impressed with him actually. But if we can get him fairly cheap by the fact that they've been relegated, he can almost be like the young up and coming one, and then if we buy a more experienced right back, that would be insane. But anyway, either way, we all know we need a right back. The good thing is that we've got that Sirkin coming through from the youth academy, which Mourinho's had high praises for, and saying that someone that he's looking to see going forward. So that's another reason why I don't think we'll sign a left back, because I think he'll rather start bringing him through as like a backup to Davies than actually sign someone else, which again is just another one where who knows, we'll see, we'll find out I guess at the start of the season. In my opinion, I would like us to get a centre back now with Dyer, Sanchez, Toby and Tanganga. I mean, we've got Foyth as well, but he's like almost fifth in line at this point, and I can't imagine him staying this summer, to be honest with you. But as much as we've got that many, like I'm looking at the standard again, and I'm looking at how rocky our defense was. I've said this throughout on Twitter and stuff. I think Dyer's improved a lot at centre back, but again, it's still not that top level for what we need. But again, if we're looking at the fact that he signed a new contract, Toby signed a new contract, obviously Sanchez is going to be at us for a while, Tanganga's up and coming, I can't see us signing a centre back. But I do think we need, again, another leader, another class player that's just going to straight up step up, walk into the first team. And I'm not being funny, even getting that Kim Min-jae that we've been linked with heavily, quite literally is labelled the monster. It looks absolutely insane from the YouTube highlights that I've seen. But yeah, again, a massive player, obviously like huge, as in physically huge, and it managed to stop Dembele and tackled him, which that alone should secure the transfer. So I think he would be a great addition to the team, especially when we need these leaders, these big players that can help be more defensively sound for a defensive Mourinho team. As well as that, we all know as well, we need a striker, right? We need a striker. Kane cannot continue doing this by himself. It's just, it's impossible. It doesn't work. We need another striker. Burnley have 4 or 5 strikers. Burnley. And I'm like, we desperately need another striker. And this is where I'm a bit stumped. Like, we're looking at Callum Wilson. Okay, if it's very cheap, that's a good backup striker. Realistically, we should be going for someone like Ings, because he could even fight for being for a lot more starting games. I do think we need like a quality striker to what Kane, or even if you've got Son up front, like some level to what they can do, which means that we can rotate between Kane and the strikers for different competitions and not be worried about the fact that, oh, are they going to score, are they not? But the odds are we're going to look for a deal, and Callum Wilson is looking like the number one spot right now, the number one choice. And then finally, to top it off, even though we don't need any more midfielders, I would love to see Coutinho at Spurs. I think that out of all of the ones that would be doing, that would be the statement signing. Everyone else is more of like, okay, we need a player for that position. This player is very good at their job doing that. Let's get them. Finally, replace Eriksen properly and getting someone that, you know, can guarantee assists and even goals, is a great free kick taker, can be a little mastermind in attacking midfield. But again, one that seems very unlikely, considering we now have obviously Gio as attacking mid. We've got like Bergwijn and Lucas options out wide. Obviously, it depends on the formation. It confuses everyone's minds, right? But again, it's just something that would be a huge statement signing for Spurs and something we should really consider. But yeah, that's the video done. That's pretty much sums up what Højbjerg can offer Spurs and what other players we would also need to try and win trophies at Spurs, because let's be honest, we need to win a trophy next year. Otherwise, some players are gone out the window and something we do not want to see. But anyway, I hope you're happy that videos are back. I just want to say that I've got a huge, like my best video ever dropping on Monday, hopefully. And when I say this, I'm not even kidding. I can't even tease it. I can't say anything yet until Monday, but just know it's going to drop Monday, hopefully. And it's going to be a banger, something you are not going to want to miss. I promise you that right now, you're not going to want to miss it. So yeah, make sure to subscribe down below, turn the notification bell on so you know when that video goes up, leave a like on the video, and I shall see you guys in the next upload. Peace.
No, there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I be moving